One of the trickiest concepts that children find hard to learn, one of the strands, has to be fractions, decimals and percentages. And it's often tricky to find ways of making it fun and exciting and engaging when you're having to cover it frequently and often to make sure that they're secure with the skills.
Yeah.
And then how many times I've made cards for fractions and equivalences and said, oh, I'm going to laminate them and keep them. Well, luckily now, there's these fantastic bingo boards for the children to use. Great for reinforcing skills of the percentages, fractions and decimals. They're wiped clean, they're bendy, durable, so they hopefully won't get lost because they've got the box, and they're perfect for the children to use.
Right, great. I've been using these a lot in my class, the equivalence bars. Like you mentioned, keep the children engaged, but it's because of the abstract nature of fractions. Children find it hard to understand. With the equivalence bars, for example, being able to see that the two pieces or two halves make the one whole really helps with the understanding. The great thing about these bars is the different numbers that you've got in here. Obviously you can't see this, but you've got fractions, percentages, numbers and decimals. So whichever way you're looking at it, the children can also see how that applies in different ways. The children love using them, and it really helps with them being able to see how you make up, because what they struggle with is that a fraction is a part of one whole.
Making sure they're all the same amount.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to cut them as well. Obviously, new to the curriculum, so they're big, good for us.
Exactly, and we love them. These fraction crunchers for the children to add and subtract fractions. And what I particularly like is the fact that this little box slides across. But children are used to seeing calculations where the missing answer was at the end, whereas you can slide it to the beginning and to try and work out using the inverse. It really secures their understanding of fractions.
Really, like you mentioned inverse, it really helps them apply different skills with fractions and giving children a different way again of learning fractions, especially adding and subtracting, which, like we said, is a bit of an abstract concept, but for the children to be able to see and slide along and figure out what the missing number or would be, really does help them.
Again, it's a game that the children can play by themselves, give them to a group, love being a teacher, testing their partner, moving it as well.
Yeah.
They're great fun.
Yeah. What I particularly like about the equipment as well is for example, these big cards, double-sided, big durable cards, you could use them in modelling class, you could use them as resources in class, the perfect for intervention resources, if you need to take the children out just for a little bit on fractions.
Quick flashcards as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, these are perfect because these cards have got decimals on the back, fractions on the front, lay them out, children like play guessing the odd one out. So they can see and start counting fractions and decimals, which I think they find really tricky.
And finding the link between them as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Got the same here with the match cards and snap cards. Children love using, match up the fraction with the written form of the fraction. Again, it's just keeping the children engaged, thinking of different ways to teach the fractions.
Yeah, to reinforce the skills.
Yeah. With I think you mentioned this earlier, with them all being plastic and durable and wiped clean, you can use them over and over again in different parts of the school, and they still look brand new. Yeah.
Especially with those, I was just thinking about for some of the children in my class as well, if they're wiped clean, they could even challenge themselves further and write in a percentage on them as well, so you've got all three in the one resource.